Okay, so I've been asked how to remove the rear shelf trim pieces from a Ferrari 355 GTB, or probably the same for GTS. As you can see, I've already got the trim out at this point. So the video is a little zoomed in here because I'm inside the car, but essentially you have this main shelf that runs horizontal. That is the first piece that needs to come out. From inside the engine compartment, there is 3 studs that protrude with nuts. So you open up the bonnet and reach right behind, and you can see them pretty well because they are silver nuts. So you screw those pieces, being very careful to not drop the nuts or the washers into the engine compartment. Take great care to not drop any fasteners with inside the engine. That's very critical, especially near the timing belts. So what I did is I used a magnet to pull the washers off to be sure that there was no way I was going to drop them. So that piece comes off first with those 3 fasteners. Then you have the side trim pieces that are covering, kind of surrounding the seat belt area. Now these have a fastener on the pillar here, okay, that is screwed in. You can actually loosen that up. You don't even need to remove it. You can loosen it by putting a wrench underneath the carpet and unscrewing that enough. The bracket itself has got a U shape, so you can unscrew that just enough to slide it and pop it off. Then it's got a screw, a Phillips head screw here, and a Phillips screw here. It also has a clip that clips into this bracket in the back. So you need to pry the front up a little bit over this area here, and then somewhat pry this up and then pull it from the back, and it comes off pretty easy, but it is a tight fit. I'm going a little bit in reverse order here because of course you have to take off this panel first, which trims off the seat belt. This has got a couple of snap fasteners, and I have one of these nifty little panel removal tools that I bought from Harbor Freight for probably like $4. What I did is put some painter's tape first on the adjacent panel, so when I used that tool to pry, I didn't mark up the leather. So you pop off a couple of those snaps on the bottom, and then there's also a little hook that hooks it into the panel. So you pop the snaps off, and then you can pull that forward. On the back side, then, there's a plate and some screws that hold on a little tab to hold the trim plastic retainer on. So that comes off fairly easy. Then you can slide everything through. So the last piece that I don't have in the car here is the piece that actually wraps right around the entire window. And that is held on by a couple of studs similar to the front piece that are, the nuts are in the engine compartment. A little harder to get to because they're underneath some trim, but you can see them and you can get to them. You need to use an open end and a combination of a socket because you don't have direct access with the socket. It's kind of on an angle. Then it also has 2 fasteners here that are the same Phillips head screws. So you unscrew those, pull the studs out, and pry it out, and out it comes. Hopefully you find that helpful.